Good afternoon, everybody. Please do confirm if I'm audible. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
All right, super. Thank you so much for confirming. I'd first like to introduce myself. So my name is Dinewo. I'll be your host for today's session, which is the Think Tank Thursday session. But before we can get into, sharing our presentation and welcoming our guest speaker, if maybe in the meantime, maybe let's just give it 2 minutes of introductions. If you can just type in on your chat box as to who are you attending with and which whole side are you joining from. I see there's quite a few of you who has already started, and just a bit of housekeeping rules. Please do make sure that you are muted at all times and that your camera is off so that the internet is stable and then everybody can be able to hear. All right, so let's get to see where you guys joining from. I see there is Mariska online from Gina Daycare. Thank you for joining. There is Katleho from Boys and Girls in Protea Clan. Welcome. And there is Jolene from Lombard of Community Cares. There is also Pumzile Shante from Cape Swellendam. Welcome Tabang, attending from Shirinda Primary School. Mariska Nagon, there is Nakolo Sizwile Tato from Imbewu Yokuphila. Welcome everybody. Dombokolo Tai from Ungalelo. There's Tandi from Galax. Valencia from Boomba Simon from LTTD Cleaning and Laundry. And then I see a comment coming from Nokubonga from Focus on the Family. If you can also confirm where is your whole site located, because I see that some of you from Val, some of you from Limpopo, KZN, so it's quite nice to see everybody coming from different locations. All right, so your introductions are coming. There's Karabo from Alex. Please mute your mics. Thank you. Tandy from Gauteng, Tiamo from Bothaville in Free State. Thank you so much for confirming. Ndumiso also coming from Family Hillcrest in KZN. Welcome, Ndumiso. Right. I'm just gonna give it 2 more minutes to allow everybody to settle in and join in. Remember to always mute your mic and switch your camera off. And if you have any supervisors online, our alumni, please also confirm in the chat box. It's lovely to have everybody online and joining us. Right, and then there's Atini from Hidden Bliss in Willis in East London. Welcome, Atini. Welcome, Kaylin7 and Sohil, as well as Salish from TNT Management. Makelino from Sage Accounting in Cape Town. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, Karabo. Welcome, Tiamo. Sure, there's quite a lot of you coming in. Thank you for joining. Polisile from Mercedes-Benz. Oh, there we go. We have a supervisor, Shante Espich, which is a supervisor. Thank you for joining us. Luvuyo from Blossom Care in Cape Town. And Irene from Haruna Lunyile from Northwest University. All right, so we're gonna introduce our funder representative, which is Faith, which is also our esteemed guest speaker for this meeting. Just to confirm, Faith, are you online?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, fantastic. I'm just gonna give it a minute until Yanga is here and then we will proceed and introduce you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I also know there is Ronald. Ronald, do we have you from Sipila Wellness? All right. Please keep your comments coming, your introductions coming on the chat box. Yes, see, Zolani from Speroja has joined. Molemo, thank you so much for joining. Hendrik from Cape Swellendam, the supervisor, thank you so much for joining us. There is Tiffany from Cheaper Holdings in East London, Daniel and Columba in Pretoria, Zukanyo and Nomfundo, Drama for Life. Tembelihle from Butterfly, welcome. Lizen from Community, Kes, and then Bitoko from Youth at Work, welcome Bitoko. And Matediso from Pretoria, Toriso Mkontlo from Mkontos Consulting, Bungani, Penyo, Nthabiseng Tuli from Youth at Work, Bonolo from Firework Group in Johannesburg. Okay, so I think we can then proceed. Faith, just to confirm one more thing, I know you're joining with Nthabiseng. Is she joining now or a little bit later?
Nthabi is already online. So yeah, she's here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right, sorry about this, guys. So we're gonna proceed shortly. Please do mute your mics. Mahlatsi, please mute your mic. Right, thank you. So we're just waiting for Yangai. It's gonna come in any minute. We can give it one more minute. Yeah.
All right, good afternoon, colleagues. Welcome to our Think Tank Thursday. My name is Yang Ngwenya, Head of HR and Operations at Youth at Work. We see that it's still coming in numbers, but for the interest of time, we'll start. And first and foremost, we just want to welcome all our youth across different provinces, across different sectors, from different funders as well. All welcome. We are now going to introduce our guest speaker. And I must say that you guys are highly privileged to have her as a speaker today. I do see that you're busy introducing your name and your surname and which funder, which site you are in. All good on the chat box. If you can all mute our mic so that we don't disturb or distract our speaker. Please mute your mic so that we can start. On the call today, we've got an esteemed guest speaker that we highly esteem at Youth's Work and is also part of one of our funder from Sage. And just a brief profile about her. Her name is Faith, is responsible for driving business transformation at Sage in South Africa, including compliance with the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Codes and regulations. She oversees a range of preferential enterprise and supply development and management control, skills development, and socio-economic development. Our guest, by the name of Faith, has top skills, including skills development and training, diversity, equity, inclusion, talent management, performance management, talent acquisition, social corporate investment, and driving a high performance culture. She has successfully implemented initiatives and programs that have changed the lives of the colleagues, the customers, the partners, and communities. She's passionate about youth development, women empowerment, growing small and medium businesses, and breaking down barriers to people living with disabilities. Guys, we are really, really privileged. Faith has implemented program to create a pathway for people living with disabilities and has been involved in the ICT projects to support the kids to learn IT skills from foundation phase through Lisejo and robotics. And also, last but not least, Faith believes in making a difference and changing people's life to ensure everyone can thrive, changing one life at a time. And Faith has worked for many companies, multinational companies, including Microsoft and Oracle's. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our great guest, and please make sure that you don't disturb her, you listen attentively. Perhaps towards the end of the session, there will be issues of questions and answers. And over to you, Faith. Thank you so much for being online, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Yanga, for that great introduction. I'm looking forward to just having this great session and chat today with everyone. So welcome, everyone. And yeah, I am not alone. I am joined by Nthabiseng, and she's going to introduce herself just now. So Yanga has gone into details of my profile. I'm not even going to go there, but I'm very excited to be here today. So Nthabi, can I just ask you to please just put on your camera as well and then just introduce yourself?
Thanks, Faith. Hopefully you okay. I am in the L&D space, so I'm what you can call Faith's sidekick today. I think good enough response there.
Okay, thank you so much, Nthabi, for introducing yourself. I'll just share my screen. So yeah, give me a second while I do that. Please tell me when you can see my screen. Nthabi?
Yes, you can see. Thank you.
Right, we can see it. Maybe if you can just go into presenter mode.
It is on presenter mode. I don't know if it's just
Maybe there is a
showing
delay.
differently on yours.
Zoom
your
it.
side. Sorry, are you still not seeing it on presenter mode?
No, not from my side. I don't know about anybody else.
Not yet.
Nthabi, do you want to try and just project for me on your side, please?
Okay, let's try it that way. Hopefully it works. Okay, so do excuse us, guys. We're not familiar with Zoom, but we will definitely try and...
There we go.
How's it showing?
Yeah, it is on presenter mode. Thank you so much, Nthabi, for that. So as I said, thank you so much, everyone. So this session is going to be very interactive. What Nthabi and I would like to do is to really make this more interactive rather than just a presentation from ourselves. So we're looking forward to you guys just popping in your questions on the chat. Also, if you would like to unmute yourself and ask a question, that will be great. But Nthabi and I here today are going to be talking about empowering your presence and building confidence and your personal brand. So you might have had quite a lot of presentation or talks around personal brand, but we are looking to just transform you today as we actually talk about this topic. And Nthabi, if you can just go for me on the next slide. So on the next slide, I've got a question for everyone, and Nthabi is going to just help me just to look at the answers that are there on the chat. So the question that I have is, what unique qualities or values do you believe define you? So if you can put it there on the chat so that we can start the discussion. So what unique qualities or values do you believe define you?
Faith, I think you might have to man the chat for me because I am not able to see anything other than the presentation at this point.
That's fine. All good. I'll look at it. I don't think there's anything on the chat yet. If I might just maybe ask you, Nthabi, while we're waiting for the guys to just put their comments on the screen, what would you say are the qualities, unique qualities that you have, or values that you believe define you?
Oh man, let me think about it for a second. But you know what? What comes top of mind for me is definitely authenticity and kindness. That is how I want. That's basically what I believe are my unique qualities. I'm a very authentic person. What you see is what you get. You're never going to get anything different. And also, I'm just extremely kind, and that is very intentional because we do live in an unkind world, and I think kindness is the most underrated quality. So thank you for putting me on the spot there, Faith. I'll throw it back at you. What are your unique qualities?
Thank you so much, Nthabi. I think there is, for me, there's two things. There is how I see myself, and there's also how people see me. And I think on my side, how I see myself, I resonate quite well with what you've just said about authenticity, because same applies to me. What you see is what you get. And also, I think for me, it's just being bold and also I think those are the qualities. Passion, because for me, I'm in a space where I work quite a lot in transformation and making a difference in the lives of people. So it's that, and I'm passionate about making a difference in people's lives, in youth, and all that. So that's how I will define myself. But also, if you look at how people define me, they talk about also respectful. They also talk about different things. So it's all about how I define myself and also how other people define me. But thank you so much, Nthabi, for getting just into that discussion. So I think what I'm seeing on the chat, I'm seeing respect. I'm seeing passionate, creative, and innovative, and enduring character, loyalty. So those are the kind of things: honesty, love, kindness, and adaptability. And those are the things that are coming on the chat. But we will talk a little bit about the qualities that we have identified. But if you can, Tabi, just go for me on the next slide so that we can really now dive into the topic that we are really going to talk about today. So, Ntabi, do you want to just take us through the learning outcomes that we would like to come out with from this session?
Sure. I mean, Faith, in the next, call it 30 minutes or so, what we are hoping that people will take away from the session is a clear definition of what is a personal brand. That's what we want you guys to take away from this. Also, we'll share some secrets, not even secrets, but some pearls of wisdom in terms of how do you build and also how do you rebrand your personal brand. And also we'll look at how can you improve your confidence? How can you build it? Because confidence and personal brand are closely aligned because they actually speak to how people experience you. Because sometimes you want to come across as confident, then you show up arrogant. So key differences there. And then also we'll just share some tools for building personal brand. And also what we're encouraging is that the biggest learning that we can do is just by learning from each other. So if we're touching on something, feel free to share best practice or what you personally do from a personal brand perspective or confidence perspective that has worked for you, because that pearl of wisdom can actually help somebody else. So in a nutshell, that's what we're hoping to take away from the session, but please don't rob us of the opportunity to also learn from you. Faith, I think I'll hand over to you now before I get into
Thank you so much, Nthabi. If we can just move on to the next slide so that we can get into the details of what we're going to be discussing today. So the question that we are going to tackle now is, what is personal brand? And I think when Nthabi and I, we're kind of like talking a little bit about our values, our qualities, we kind of like touched on that. But really, personal brand is an expectation of an experience. It's how people experience you. It's how people see you, what you know, what separates you from others. So it talks quite a lot also about your reputation, how people experience you, as I've said, and how you yourself see yourself. So it also tells people what they can expect from you. So as I said, I think when I was opening up, it's about you and how people actually perceive you. So how do you share your personal brand? Personal brand is shared in different platforms. I think when you guys were also doing an interview, you also shared your personal brand there when you were talking to the next person to say, this is who I am, this is what I'm bringing into the table, this is what I can do, and things like that. So it's through perceptions created based on interactions that you have with people. And also, it's how you behave and treat other people. So the way that you behave, or the way how you do things on your day-to-day life, even at work or wherever you are in your personal life, people are able to say or experience you and say, you know something, Faith is respectful, or Faith is not respectful, or Faith is passionate, or Faith is not passionate. So how people experience you is very important. And then how you make others feel when they are around you, because that is very important. People come up with a perception based on how you've treated them. Some people can actually say, you know something, Faith is not respectful because of certain things that I've actually done and how I've made them feel. So I always say, when we talk about personal brand, and Tabi, as she's going to the next slide, I spoke a little bit about it and I said, personal brand, it's about how you see yourself and how others see you. So that's how personal brand comes together. And in other instances, you will hear somebody saying, you know, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say about me on this and that. And I think it's a wrong perspective to actually say, I don't care what people think or what people say about me, because especially in a working environment where you are working with people, there's an expectation of how somebody should behave or how somebody should actually show up. So when we talk about how you see yourself, for me, it's very important, because every morning when I wake up in the morning, for me, it's about showing up and really showing those qualities that really speaks to who I am, that really speaks to my value, that really speaks to my belief, that speaks to how I do things. And then also it's how others see me. How am I going to walk out there, make an impact, make people feel that faith is a respectful, is a passionate, and things like that. So a personal brand is not something that's just pie in the sky, but it's how you're actually living it. And I like this quote that says, personal brand is what people say about you when you leave the room. Because in most cases, people are very good to speak the good when you are in front of them. But immediately when I walk away, then they start telling the truth or the real me of how they experience me. So it's very important that when that door is closed, people continue to say, faith is passionate, faith is respectful, Nthabiseng is authentic. Those are the things that really are important when you are not in the room. And I've just put a picture on here. And I was actually debating which picture do I put on here, because Nthabi said to me, Faith, are you sure that people know who the lady that you've put on the picture is? And I said, Ntabi, I'm sure they do. If they don't, I'm going to educate them a little bit about this person. But it is Mother Teresa. And some of you, you know her, some of you don't know her. But she's made a huge impact, obviously, in creating missionaries, in ensuring and taking care of the poor, and making a difference out there in our world. And one thing, or some of the qualities that has been highlighted about her, is the fact that she's respectful, she's dedicated to the work that she was doing, she was dedicated to other people, great leader, self-aware, vulnerable, and empathetic. And normally, when we talk about people who've made it or people with big brands, we don't think about the fact that they are vulnerable, which is very important, because being vulnerable means that she's human, means that she does go through difficult things, and she does accept that from time to time one will struggle. So I liked that, and I wanted to just talk about Mother Teresa. But what I also want to talk about is your brand is that asset that makes you, and that tells someone why you are valuable. And that's what I wanted to close this slide on. So it's very important for you to know that your brand is your asset. And if you don't see it that way, it's something that you work on each and every day. And you need to make sure that you're very intentional about the brand that you create and the brand that you show up on a day-to-day basis. Tabi, if you can just go on the next slide for me. And what I would like to just do here, so on this, there is just blank pictures, and we are just going to do an exercise quickly. So on this exercise, there are few people or famous people that are on the slide, and I would like to just get your view on the chat, just around the unique qualities that you believe these people have. What perception do you have about them? What is the brand? How is their brand positioned? And you guys can just share on the chat, and we can have a little bit of a discussion. Tabi, can you just put the first person for us, so that we can just get the chat flowing? So firstly, we've got Trevor Noah, and I would like to know from you guys, what do you think it's a personal brand, a unique qualities or characters that you associate when you see Trevor Noah? If we can have the chats buzzing and just see on the chats the feedback that we've got. He's funny. That's the first one that I got. He's humble. He likes to connect with people. Intellectual comedy. Sorry, teams keep moving backwards. So humanity, smart, political. He's wise. So if I may just ask a quick question, just around some of the things that you've said on there, do you think that he's intentional about his brand? Or do you think that he just wakes up and his brand just creates itself? What do you think happens? Do you think it's something that he's intentional about? You can put it on the chat while Nthabi puts the next person for us next. Yeah. We've got the next person. I'm sure you guys know her. The next person that we've got is Bonang. And we would like to just see on the chat some of the qualities that you guys think of her. Queen Bee. Humble and smart. Money. That's Nthabi's word.
No, Faith. I love language.
She's classy. Let's have a look. Great voice. She's brave and hardworking. Like that, dedicated and goal-driven. And has class. And Nthabi, do you want to just project the next person for us? We've got Elon Musk. Do we have comments coming through? He's rich, innovative, charismatic, creative. Yeah, that's a few that we've got under Elon Musk. But I think it was the question that I asked that I just wanted to close off the slide by. I asked if you believe that Trevor Noah is really intentional about his brand. And I think when you look at the chats, everybody was very clear on the fact that Trevor Noah is very intentional about his brand. And I'm sure I can also attest to all three of the people that we've got, or the people that we've got on here, that they are also very intentional. They wake up each and every morning, and they're very intentional about their brand. They're very intentional about how they make people feel. They're very intentional about who they want to be as they walk out of there, how they want to be perceived, and how people should actually see them. Nthabi, if you can just go to the next slide for me, please. Now, I think with the 3 slide, we were building up into just personal brand. And I just want to focus on the slide. I didn't put any information on here because I think for me, the important thing was to ask you a question, and you can put it on the chat. And I want to see how those questions go. The question that I have is, are you your authentic self? Do you believe that you are currently your authentic self? Do you believe that you are living your values? Do you believe that you are living who you are? So do you want to just put it on the chat there so that we can see where you guys believe you are at this stage? I see yes. I see no's as well. Definitely. There's a few no's. There's quite a few yeses as well. Slowly getting there. I may be professional at work. Sorry, Zoom is moving. I may be professional at work, but around those, I'm confident in terms of changing bad habits. So there is quite a lot of where people are saying yes and where people are saying no. And one thing that I wanted to highlight on the slide, it's just around what we have seen. I think quite a lot of people, if you look at it across, it can be global, it can be anywhere, we find that a lot of people are actually not living their true self. There are a lot of people who have now, it's either when you follow a certain somebody who is a singer or a certain celebrity, people tend to start moving away from their own values or moving away from who they are, and they start living different values. They start wanting to become other people instead of becoming the authentic self. Now, when you talk about personal branding, and you've seen it on the first picture that we had, it's really about how you stand out. And what we normally see is that people are trying so much to fit, trying so much to become somebody else and fit into other people's values and how they do things. And today, I think the message that we want you guys to take when we are doing this personal branding session is, how do you stand out wherever you are? Because personal branding is very important around you showing your values, you differentiating yourself. In the working environment, you find that people would want to see the authentic you rather than you moving in a group or just moving with a certain group of people. So I think the message that I want to send, talking about personal brand, is how do you become different? How do you differentiate yourself from other people? How do you do things differently from other people instead of looking at other people and living other people's lives? Because that's what we're seeing quite a lot, that people are living other people's lives. And Nthabi is going to talk about building confidence. She's going to talk about being authentic you, going back to either if you've lost your brand, how do you then come back and say, how do I redefine or build my brand and have my own identity rather than living other people's identity? And I like the honesty on the chat where people are saying, actually, no, I am not living my personal brand. And others are saying, I am there. And I'm hoping that with this session, as we continue, as Nthabi is going through, she's going to be able to highlight to you how to get back into your own personal brand and become that unique you that is going to make a difference. Because in the corporate world, as I said, it's not about just going in masses. We want to see you show up. We want to see you do things differently. We want to see your creativity. We want to see your passion, your authenticity, and how you do things differently. So as Nthabi is going to continue into the next sessions, we will then be unpacking to give you those tools to become the authentic you. Thanks, Nthabi. If you can take it from here.
Famous line, I'm talking on mute. Thank you so much, Faith. I think that was a valuable question to everyone. And I thoroughly enjoyed the honesty on the chat. So Faith, if I can just ask you to please figure out how to share with me, because I also want to be able to engage with the chat as we're going through this. So if you can share the screen, the presentation for me, I'm giving you an opportunity to redeem yourself, partner.
Okay, let's see if that's gonna work.
The entire window. So the main reason why I'm saying I would like Faith to share for me is because, in a virtual environment, you want to engage with the chat because, you want to see everyone. So I'm glad I can see a few people on the slide. Let's try presenter mode, Faith. Did you say the entire window?
I did, yes. Let me just stop sharing and try again.
Yeah. So while we wait for Faith to do that, as we go into the segment of how do you build or how do you rebrand yourself, I want you to be thinking about at what cost. So if you're not
I don't know if we've lost Nthabi. Can you still hear?
No, I think we lost Nthabi because of the network.
how many times do you self if you're not managing completely and sort this out? Okay.
Sorry, Nthabi, are you trying to connect on your side to show the screen? Okay, give me a second. Let me just check on Nthabi.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back into
Okay, am I back?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, am I audible? Apologies for that. Right. So I'm going to try and share because I think Faith uh, is struggling. So I was able to share before, but I don't know what I've done.
Are you struggling to share? Do you have it open on your side?
I do have it open, but when I share the share tray, so unfortunately I'm using the browser because we are not allowed to download Zoom. So I don't have it here in terms of the window that I can share and in my entire presentation. Let's see. Faith, are you not winning on your side? All right, I'm conscious of time and that we're going to be wasting a lot of time with this. I'm just going to try it one last time, but if not, then these are just some of the things that happen. So, Faith, I will try and take over the share. Let me try and share it on my side. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, if you can do it.
Yes, we can.
Is it in presenter mode?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, I think I'm having the same issue with you, Faith. I think I know how to sort it out. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. It's back. Might have been connection issues. Is that in presenter mode?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I just need to get to the right place. Apologies, everyone. I promise you our right. So, like I've said, so building or redeveloping your personal brand is an important thing. An important question that we asked about the three pictures we showed you was, do you think those people were intentional or they were not intentional about their brand? and everybody seemed to think they were intentional. Now, I want you to reflect. Have you been intentional about your personal brand? Because believe it or not, whether you think it or you don't, or whether you believe it or you don't, everyone has a personal brand. Everyone has a personal brand. So there is a way that people experience you. There is a way in which you show up that either gets people excited or it rubs them off the wrong way. The one thing I do want to say to you is that there is a very thin line between a personal brand that you've built yourself and a personal brand that people have built about you in their mind because of their own insecurities. So self-awareness becomes key for you to know when to take the real feedback and filter out the people that are committed to misunderstanding you, that just have something against you and you don't know what it is that you've done. So when you've self-reflected, when you've got self-awareness to know that I have been authentic to myself, I have showed up as myself. If respect and kindness are your thing, you've continued to display those behaviors and people still continue to misunderstand you. That is where I say, don't take feedback or criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from. So something that I want to add, that I want to mention before we move forward. So a key thing, right? When you're building your personal brand should be about you, who you are, what you're about, what you value, are the important things that will tell you what your personal brand represents. What bothers you? The young ones call it, what triggers you? What are those things that trigger you when it comes to life in general? And anything that bothers you or something that triggers you means that it's tackling your core. So if somebody lies, as an example, I'll give myself as an example. If somebody lies to me, that triggers me. It triggers me to a point where I am willing to end that relationship, no matter how small the lie is, because in my core, I value honesty. Integrity is everything to me. So anything that bothers you, you know that 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 is a value. If somebody violates that, then you feel it inside. That's the thing that bothers you. So you can use that as a guide to find what your values are. What do you want to be known for? When people come into interaction with you, when people come to get to know you, what is the thing that you want them to walk away with? Those are just some of those questions you need to ask yourself. And for the people who've said, I'm in between, or I'm trying, or I'm on a road to there, it all starts with you. That reflection that you do in terms of, what do I want to be known for? For me, if somebody genuinely does not like me and I know that I've shown up for myself, I can move away and respect that, because that means I'm not their cup of tea. And also, you will not be liked by everyone. You are not money. You're not going to be liked by everyone, but your people will find you. So, also, what are you passionate about? Because that should drive you. And those are the qualities, those are some of these questions that you see here, should be the reflection that you use. What do I want to be known for? And also reflect on these if you want to rebrand. What am I currently known for? What do I want to be known for? And it's very important when you look at this, because believe it or not, it's never too late. It's never too late. If your current brand does not represent what you want to be known for, what you value, what you are about, you can change it. You can always change it. And when you think about changing it, think about, what am I known for now? And how are you going to get that? Ask for feedback. Solicit feedback from people you trust, from people you respect, and have a thick skin and be open to hearing, how do people experience you. So really take the time to think about where you are now. Have a clear picture of what you want the end to look like, because that will determine the steps that you need to take for you to get to your end. And then take the time to detail the necessary steps to get there. Extremely important. Where are you now? Do you stand for everything that you believe in? Is that how you want to be known? Is that what you're about? Are you within your capability, or are you self betraying at every moment that you take? So, really, take the time to reflect. What do you want to be known for? And feedback is a critical part of this, because once you get feedback, it will be able to give you a picture. Because remember, personal brand is how people experience you. So, perception is the hard part of personal branding, how people perceive you. So, again, ask for feedback. And these are just some of the questions you can ask. What do you think I'm known for? My reputation. How do people receive me? And you can go on, as the young ones say, bring out the receipts for yourself with all the relationships that you've had. What is the constant feedback that you're getting? Are people saying, oh, you're this way? Is that how you want to show up? I remember a time in my career when I was very young, and people always perceived me as hard, as direct. Oh, Nthabiseng is blunt. And I used to love that, and I'd say, I shoot from the hip, until something shifted in me and I said, I don't want to be that person. And that's why I said kindness is a big one for me, because sometimes you can be overly direct. To Faith's point, the line of, I don't care what people think about me, should be used really carefully and in certain situations. It cannot be your modus operandi. I do have a tendency of going into preacher mode, but in the interest of time, I want to introduce you to a tool we call the Johari window. In this short time, obviously, there are things that we're not going to get to, but I believe in planting seeds and seeds of curiosity, where I want you to be curious enough to go and Google what the Johari window is about. But Johari window speaks to feedback, right? And it packages it into four areas. So each one of us has things that you know about yourself and others know about you. And then we have things that we know about ourselves, but others don't know. Interestingly enough, we also have things that we don't know that others know about us. We call it our blind spot. And then, of course, as life will have it, there's always the unknown. You don't know who you'll be or how you'll be in 5 years, in 2 years, in 2 weeks. So this is how you get feedback. And this is all about the Johari window is good for you when you want to seek feedback, when you want to self-disclose, when you want to go on a self-discovery journey, and also when you're wanting to build relationships. You can actually ask for feedback. One of my blind spots, and I'm doing now this, I didn't realize how much I speak with my hands up until somebody said it. And I was like, really? And I didn't realize what I did when I'm upset. And that's how people around me knew to say, yes, you'll try and regulate your emotions, but when you're doing this and you're upset. So this is an interesting tool to use when you're asking for feedback, when you really want to go on a self-discovery journey that is authentic, that is honest, and that will be open to you in terms of, let me receive the feedback and let me actually go on this journey to find out about myself. So very interesting to say, get feedback on these areas. And I want you to be curious. Go and Google it. What is the Johari window? Read up and consider using it even with your close family and friends. And then you can go into the work environment. But really especially to rebrand or build your brand. Then very quickly, how does confidence impact personal brand? Confidence impact perception. It impacts the people that you attract. It impacts presentation. You show up Do you show up as your full self? Do you show up with doubts, looking down? Is that how you want to be experienced? Risk taking. Confidence speaks to risk taking. Are you going to take that risk and speak up and say, "Hi, my name is Nthabiseng, and I'm really interested in your organization. Would you have an opportunity for me?" So, confidence allows you to take risks. Confidence allows you to tell people who you are. And then resilience. Confidence does build resilience because when you are confident, you know that it's only a matter of capability. It's not a me thing. I just need to build the skills. I need to build the capability for me to do everything that I want. I have everything I need in myself. So, very quickly, I always like definitions. What is confidence? Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on someone or something. In this context, we want to focus on self confidence. Self confidence is a person's belief or trust in their own ability. Self confidence is not arrogance. Self confidence is that silent voice in your head that tells you that you've got this, you can do this, you are capable. That's confidence. And a quote that I like: confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you use the muscle of confidence, the more you show up in the way you up. The more you do the things that you want to do, the more you stand up for yourself, you will build that confidence. Some people can actually say, fake it till you make it. Where confidence is concerned, it does work. In the work environment, it doesn't, right? Let me just clarify that. And also, how can you improve or develop your confidence? Remove the words, I can't. Stop the negative self talk. Stop telling yourself, oh, Nthabiseng, you're not good enough. Oh, this is why they're not choosing you. Oh, this is why this is happening. Stop that. It's not going to help you. Focus on your strengths and your successes. Look at your journey. How far have you come for you to get here? So, of course, the journey ahead, you'll be able to do it. If you want to journey on a personal brand and show up as fully yourself, you can do it. Knowledge is power. Boost your knowledge and always be yourself, no matter what. Even in rooms where you don't belong, be yourself. Even in areas where fitting in feels like the right thing to do, be yourself. Because then your people will find you, your destiny would find you, and you will attract what is for you. As I wrap this up, never underestimate the power of networking. Your network will determine your net worth. Surround yourself with people who know more than you. Build your network. Whether you're using social media, when you use social media, use it responsibly because that is a powerful tool in this day and age. But build your network because sitting in a corner is not going to help you. Build your network in the office today. You can start today. Speak to that one person that you haven't spoken to. Give yourself a week and tell yourself, I am going to greet everyone, not only the people that I know. If I'm going to get into a lift, I'm going to say, morning. If I'm getting in a taxi, I'm going to say, good morning. When I'm going to get coffee, I'm going to greet. It starts with those small changes, and that builds your confidence as well. Conscious of time. And the first step as I close is to say, work on your elevator pitch. When I introduced myself, I said, hi everyone, my name is Nthabiseng and I'm Faith's sidekick. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Nthabiseng and I'm passionate about L&D. I'm the Learning and Development Business Partner at Sage South Africa, and I lead L&D for Africa, Middle East, and APAC. That's me. Tell me the difference between that and this one. So work on your elevator pitch so that when somebody asks you, oh, what do? You have the answer. What is unique about you? I am genuinely authentic and I'm a dream to be around. Can you see confidence? Yeah. And then tell them a quick story. Believe it or not, I'm a mother of 3, but it feels like 4 because I'm married. Quick story with a bit of humor. So work on that. Practice it in front of the mirror. It genuinely does work. And remember this when it comes to personal brand. Faith said it earlier. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So build it with authenticity, nurture it with confidence, and watch it open doors to endless possibilities. Hopefully, I've touched something. If nothing, just be curious about who you are and how you show up to people. Faith, I don't know if I'm handing over to you, but I think that's me.
Thank you so much, Nthabi. I think we are handing over to Yanga because the time is out. But thank you so much for listening to us. As Nthabi has said, we hope that you have taken something away and you will actually make an impact and make a difference. And do change maybe one thing from highlighting what we've shared. Yanga, over to you.
Yanga, you are muted. I'm not sure if you wanted to jump in and close off. All right. Thank you so much, Nthabiseng, as well as Faith. So Yanga is here. We'll just close off with a few remarks.
All right. Wow. Sis Faith, Sis Nthabi, you guys, you have been writing notes. We should invite you. Can you do this throughout the year, man? I know that it has taken a lot of time to prepare. I don't think this one session is enough. I feel like we've given you just 1 hour. It's not enough, guys. I think you've got a lot to unpack. I'm sure there is a great reception of your message, how you go about. It's very practical. It's very close to heart as well. I mean, majority of these young people in this call, they really need to hear that. And so on behalf of Youth at Work Management team, we are so excited to have you. Thank you for making time. Like I said, that can we, I think, Danelle, you'd want to invite them, right? No, absolutely. I think we'll just work around your schedule so that you finish what you've started. So we're truly grateful. And we've taken a lot of live nuggets in your presentation. Thank you so much, colleagues. And you'll hear from us soon. To all our colleagues online, please note that this session was recorded to be available on YouTube and all our channels, and you can have it and share and reflect. Yeah, here it is. There is a comment there from Sinalo saying 1 hour is not enough. Can't we extend it? Faith and Nthabiseng? All right. Can we extend it? Let me get, I want you to commit online, at least not outside this platform. You're coming back in Nthabiseng and says Faith, right?
We are definitely coming back. Yeah, my partner and I will just chat and yeah, we'll commit to something.
Oh, super. Thank you so much. Sorry for putting you on the spot. I know that you guys are very busy, but thank you so much. Yes, over to you, Dineo, to do your announcement and all that. Thank you so much, colleagues. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Yanga. And just
Thank you, everyone.
reminder to everyone online, please complete the attendance register. It's in the chat box. I know we promised to also introduce you to Yanga, but I think this time we'll have to set up a different the program that they're offering. But for now, please, before you leave the meeting, please make sure that
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, let's all open our videos. Let's see you. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Sifiso. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Thabo. Bye.
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 Bye.